a lot of the answers were yes, I would.
I would, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
No problem.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Can you imagine that? Just hearing it, and juror after juror after juror.
You entered a not guilty plea earlier, Mr. Henderson, but I understand you wish to change your plea today. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand, Mr. Henderson, that the recommended sentence here are 2 life sentences?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that those may run concurrent or they may run consecutive?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Henderson, I will now ask you how you wish to plead. Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Before the court decides whether these sentences shall be concurrent or consecutive, I understand that there are statements that wish to be made by at least one individual.
This is an excerpt from a statement made to the court by Lucy Thompson.
As the grandmother and the person who raised Russell along with his family, we have prepared the following statement. Our hearts ache for the pain and suffering that the shepherds have went through. Many times throughout the day, I think of Matthew, and I will continue to do so. Your family have been in our prayers since the very beginning, and we will continue to pray for you, as we know that your pain will never go away. We are so glad that you are allowing us to make this plea today, and we thank you for your generosity in giving us all a chance to live. Your Honor, as you sentence Russell, we beg that you do it in 2 concurrent life terms. We plead that you don't take Russell out of our lives completely forever.
Thank you. Mr. Henderson, you do have a constitutional right to make a statement if you wish. Do you have anything that you would like to say?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. and Mrs. Shepherd, there's not a moment that goes by I did not see what happened that night. I'm very sorry for what I did, and I greatly regret what I did. And you have my greatest sympathies for what happened. And I hope that one day you can find it within your hearts to forgive me. Your Honor, I know that what I did was very wrong, and I am very sorry for what I did. And now I'm ready to pay the debt for what I did.
Mr. Henderson, you drove the vehicle that took Matthew Shepard to his death. You bound him to that fence in order that he might be more savagely beaten and in order that he might not escape to tell his tale. You left him out there for 18 hours, knowing full well he was there, perhaps having an opportunity to save his life, and you did nothing. Mr. Henderson, this court does not believe you feel any true remorse for your part in this matter, and I wonder whether or not you fully realize the gravity of what you've done. The court finds it appropriate, therefore, that the sentence be ordered as follows. As to count 3, that being felony murder with robbery, you are to serve a period of imprisonment for the term of your natural life. As to count 1, kidnapping, that you serve a period of imprisonment for the term of your natural life. Sentencing for count 1 to run consecutive to sentencing for count 3.
After the hearing, we spoke with Russell Henderson's Mormon home teacher.
I've known Russell's family for 38 years. Russell's only 21, so I've known him his entire life. I ordained Russell a preacher of the Mormon church, so when this happened, you can imagine. Disbelief. After the sentencing, the church held a disciplinary council meeting, and the result of this meeting was to excommunicate Russell from the church. And what this means is that your name is taken off all records of the church. Your name just disappears. Russell's reaction to this was not positive. It hurt him. And it hurt him too to realize how serious a transgression he had committed. But I will not desert Russell. That's a matter of my religion and my relationship with the family.
Before we left Laramie, the company paid one more visit to Rebecca Hilliker at the theater department. She's producing Angels in America this year at the university.
I think that's the focus that the university has taken, is that we have a lot of work to do. It's that we have an obligation to find ways to reach our students. But the question is, how do you reach an entire state where there's some really deep-seated hostility toward gays? How do you reach them? This is only the beginning. And guess who's auditioning for the lead?
My parents.
Jedediah Schultz.
My parents were like, so what plays are you doing this year in school? And I was like, Angels in America. And I told them the whole list of plays. And they're like, Angels in America, is that play you did in high school, that scene you did in high school? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, huh, so are you gonna audition for it? And I was like, yeah. And we got into this huge argument, and the best thing I had on them was it was just after they'd seen me in a performance of Macbeth. And on stage, I had murdered a little kid, and Lady Macduff, and these two other guys. And I was like, Mom, look, you just saw me play a murderer tonight, and you did not seem to have a problem with that. I tell you, I have never prepared myself this much for an audition in my entire life. Never, ever, not even close.
Not having to deal with that much in the gay society here in Laramie.
Rob Debris.
And once we started looking into the case and actually speaking to people that were gay and realizing what their underlying fears were, it really hit home. This is America, but you shouldn't have the right to feel that kind of fear. And there will be people who hold with the old ideals, and I was probably one of them 14 months ago, but I'm not going to put up with it anymore. I'm not going to listen to it. If they don't like my views on it, fine. The door goes both ways. I already lost a couple buddies from it, but I don't care. I feel more comfortable and I can sleep at night.
Well, you're tested every 3 months.
Reggie Flutie.
And I was able to get the DNA test done, so I went on over to Fort Collins, and they drew the blood there. And then they sent the blood to Michigan, and they did the DNA test there, and that is a week later, I found out I was negative for good. I'll tell you, we were all on our knees saying, Hail Mary. Oh, and you were so elated, and you think, thank God. So what's the first thing she does? Oh, I stuck my tongue right in my husband's mouth. I mean, you were just so happy, and you think, I really hope I did this service well, I hope I did it with some kind of integrity, and you're just so happy, and my whole family, and my girls, they just started bawling. Oh, they were so happy. And the force, oh boy, we went out and got shit-faced. I mean, it was so great. They all bought me drinks too, and everybody was hugging and crying, and I kissed everybody who walked through that door. They don't need to know that, Reggie. No, I didn't care if they were male or female. They each got a kiss on the lips. What about what I just said? Do you not understand? Yeah, right, Mom.
Almost a year to the day that Matthew Shepard died, the trial for Aaron James McKinney was set to begin.
Probably the question that most of you have on your mind right now is, how will the McKinney case proceed?
Howard Ruchek, prosecuting attorney.
And that's a decision up to the county attorney's office, which will definitely be a death penalty case.
Part of me wants McKinney to get it, I'm not very proud of that part. I mean, I was on and off and on. And I can't tell you what I would do. I'm too personally involved.
Oh, I believe in the death penalty 100%. Mostly because I want to make sure that guy's ass dies. This is one instance where I truly believe with all of my heart in an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth.
I don't know about the death penalty, but I know that I never want to see him walk out of Rollins Penitentiary. I'll pay my nickel or whatever, my little percentage of tax, nickel a day to make sure that his ass stays in there and never sees society again, and definitely never comes into my bar again.
I don't believe in a death penalty. It's too much for me. I don't believe one person should be killed as redemption for his having killed another. Two wrongs don't make it right.
How can I protest if the Shepherds want McKinney dead? I just can't interfere with that. But on a personal level, I knew Aaron in grade school, and we never called him Aaron. We called him AJ. How can we put AJ McKinney to death?
I think right now our most important teachers must be Russell Henderson and Aaron McKinney. They must be our teachers. How did you learn it? How did we as a society teach you that? I don't know if many will let them be their teachers, but I think it'd be wonderful if the judge said, in addition to your sentence, you must tell your story. You must tell your story.
All rise. State of Wyoming versus Aaron James McKinney. Docket number 6381. The Honorable Barton R. Voigt presiding. The court is in session.
During the trial, they played a tape recording of Aaron McKinney's confession.
My name is Robin DeVries, Sergeant at the Sheriff's Office. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and may be used against you in a court of law.
This is an excerpt from that confession.